Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Neshtiki Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Caitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna
Sindhu
Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 3, Chapter 16, Text 24, where now the four Kumaras are glorifying the Lord. Tatte nabhishtam iva sattva nidervidhishtoho shimam janaya nija shaktibhir udratarehe neta vata tri adhipate vata vishvabhartus teja shatamtva avanatasya chate vinodaha. Dear Lord, you never want the auspicious path to be destroyed, for you are the reservoir of all goodness. Just to benefit people in general, you destroy the evil element by your mighty potency. You are the proprietor of the three creations and the maintainer of the entire universe. Therefore, your potency is not reduced by your submissive behavior. Rather, by submission, you exhibit your transcendental pastimes. So in the material world, we feel that if we become submissive to someone else, then our power is reduced. That's why we don't want to submit. Why should I listen to this one or that one? Means they are more powerful than me. Means I'm lower than them. We have that in the material world. We have that consciousness. But what the four Kumaras are saying, that although you are the proprietor of all material world, spiritual world, you're maintaining them. And then you are the reservoir of all goodness. All goodness. The evil is just destroyed immediately as you are there. Just as when there is darkness, you switch on the light and you turn on the switch and immediately there's light. If it's dark at night and the sun is out, then immediately there is day. So similarly, when Krishna is there, there's immediately all auspiciousness. Cannot be anything bad in the presence of Krishna. So immediately by the presence of Krishna, all evil is destroyed. So he's so powerful Krishna. He's the greatest. He's the greatest. And yet he's showing his submissive behavior, that how he's so kind to, loving to the Brahmanas. Like yesterday I was hearing the pastime of the Brahman. Rukmini sends the Brahmana to Krishna because she writes the letter. And when the Brahmana comes, Krishna was sitting on a golden throne. So Krishna gets up from the throne and he tells the Brahmana, you please sit down on the throne. And then Krishna lovingly takes the feet of the Brahmana on his own lap and he's massaging his feet. Krishna is massaging the Brahmana's feet very lovingly. He's the Supreme Lord. But by such behavior, his potency is not reduced. In fact, his super excellent qualities become manifest by such pastimes. So this is the reason we need to hear more and more the pastimes of Krishna to try to understand how amazing he is, how wonderful he is. So we read from the purport. Lord Krishna was never reduced in his position by becoming a cowherd boy or by offering respect to Sudama Brahman or his other devotees like Nanda Maharaj, Vasudev, Maharaj Yudhishthir, and the Pandavas' mother Kunti. So Krishna, he's a cowherd boy. Does it mean that he's not God? Brahma thought that. Brahma thought, oh, how come this small cowherd boy? He's God. He's eating yogurt rice with his hand, feeding to his friends, playing around, playing the pranks. How can he be my Lord? That was Brahma, Lord Brahma. He got into bewilderment. That's why he stole all the cows and the cowherd boys. And Krishna expanded. He made as many cowherd boys and cows as there were before. So it doesn't mean that Krishna stops being God at any moment. When he's offering the greatest of respect to his parents, to his superiors, to the Pandavas, to Yudhishthir Maharaj, to Kunti Devi, it doesn't reduce his position in any way. In fact, it brings out more. It makes us appreciate more Krishna's wonderful, wonderful personality, that he's the Supreme Lord, he's the all-powerful, and yet how respectful he is to everyone, how humble he is to everyone. Everyone knew that he was the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, yet his behavior was exemplary. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. His form is completely spiritual, full of bliss and knowledge, and it is eternal. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead means the Supreme Person. We are all persons. We are all persons, each and every one of us. We are all persons. But we are not Supreme Person. There is one Supreme Person. There is one Supreme Person. His name is Krishna. And his form, he has a form, Vigraha. Vigraha means form. And his form is Sat Chit Ananda. It's completely spiritual. It's eternal. It is full of bliss and knowledge. Because the living entities are his parts and parcels originally, they also belong to the same quality of eternal form as the Lord. But when they come in contact with Maya, the material potency, due to their forgetfulness, their existential constitution is covered. So we each and every living entity, we are also persons, and we are all parts and parcel of Krishna. And because Krishna's form is Satchidanand, our form is also Satchidanand. So the quality is the same, only the size is very different. The soul, we all say, I'm the soul, right? So what's the quality of the soul? Satchidanand. But the size of the soul is tiny. Krishna's quality is also Satchidanand, but he has unlimited potency. His potencies, his energies, his power is unlimited. So now, why are we inside the body? Because we want to forget Krishna. We want to enjoy separate from Krishna. So Then now we are covered by this material body. And then we continue, then we think, I am this body. I am not a part and parcel of Krishna. And that is Maya. Forgetfulness of Krishna is Maya. Thinking anything or any circumstance separate from Krishna is Maya. So we should try to understand the appearance of Lord Krishna in the spirit as the Kumaras pray to him. He is eternally a cowherd boy at Vrindavan. He is eternally the leader of the battle of Kurukshetra. And he is eternally the opulent prince of Dwarka and the lover of the damsels of Vrindavan. So Krishna, he has his eternal pastimes going on in Vrindavan, Mathura, and Dwarka. This is happening in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, there is the highest planet called Golok Vrindavan. And in that Golok Vrindavan, there is a portion which is Vrindavan, there is a portion which is Mathura, and there is a portion which is Dwarka. And Krishna is eternally exchanging wonderful, loving relationships with his devotees. All his appearances are meaningful because they show his real characteristics to the conditioned souls who have forgotten their relationship with the Supreme Lord. He does everything for their benefit. So Krishna's pastimes, he has so many pastimes. He shows us a tiny preview, a trailer. And then with these pastimes, what is he showing? He's showing his real character, who he is, how wonderful he is, how loving he is, how kind he is, how humble he is. For example, now we are hearing this pastime of 4 Kumaras and Jai Vijay, and we can see, oh my God, Krishna is so forgiving. And then he himself is taking apology. He's apologizing because Jai Vijay made a mistake. So he himself is apologizing. And then he's saying the Brahmanas are so dear to me, the devotees are so dear to me that I can cut off my arm for them. So the pastimes are for us to understand Krishna, to understand his heart. He's a person. So to understand his personality, how to understand his character. Srila Rupa Goswami writes in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that Krishna's qualities are an impetus for love in the devotee. When the devotee sees that, oh, Krishna has such amazing qualities, it revives the love that the devotee has. It's an impetus for the devotee to feel more love for Krishna. So the force exhibited in the battle of Kurukshetra by the desire of Krishna and through the agency of Arjuna was also necessary, because when people become too irreligious, force is required. Non-violence in this respect is rascaldom. Krishna is the one who ordered Arjuna, you must fight, don't back out. Krishna wanted the war to happen. So is it that he's bad? His activities are not for everyone's benefit? No, everyone who saw him when they left their body, they attained their spiritual forms. They got liberation just by seeing Krishna before they died. So Krishna's every action is beneficial for each of us. We do good for some people, but it might be harmful to another. Because we are all looking only from our limited point of the body, but Krishna is taking care of all of us. He's taking care of all of us. So he's not going to harm anyone. He wants the highest benefit for each and every one of us. Is that okay?
Yes.
Any comments? Any realizations, comments? because in this section, we are trying to understand Krishna's feelings. We are trying to understand, Krishna's heart. We are being shown Krishna's personality. If nothing, then we go on to the next verse, 25. Yam vanayordamam adisha bhavan vidhate vritim nuva tad annu man mahi nirvyalikam asmasu vayu uchito dhiryatam sadando ye anagaso vayam ayun mahi kilbishena. O Lord, whatever punishment you wish to award to these two innocent persons, or also to us, we shall accept without duplicity. We understand that we have cursed two faultless persons. Now the four Kumaras are thinking, oh my God, we did wrong. We offended the Lord. We have cursed his devotees. So now we are ready to accept whatever the Lord wants, up to him. The sages, the four Kumaras, now reject their cursing of the two doorkeepers, Jay and Vijay, because they are now conscious that persons who engage in the service of the Lord cannot be at fault at any stage. It is said that anyone who has implicit faith in the service of the Lord, or who actually engages in transcendental loving service, has all the good qualities of the demigods. So one who is engaging in pure devotional service, loving devotional service, everything for the pleasure of Krishna, all the good qualities of the demigods are manifest in the pure devotee. Therefore, a devotee cannot be at fault if sometimes it is found that he is in error by accident or by some temporary arrangement that should not be taken very seriously. The cursing of Jay and Vijay is here repented. Now the Kumaras are thinking in terms of their position in the modes of passion and ignorance, and they are prepared to accept any kind of punishment from the Lord. So now the Kumaras are saying, okay, we curse means they got angry, right? So because of passion, they had a desire. Their desire was not fulfilled, so they got angry and so they cursed. So now they are repenting their action and they are telling the Lord, okay, if you want to curse me, we are ready. In general, when dealing with devotees, we should not try to find faults. In Bhagavad Gita also, it is confirmed that the devotee who faithfully serves the Supreme Lord, even if found to commit a gross mistake, should be considered a sadhu or saintly person. Due to former habits, he may commit some wrong, but because he is engaged in the service of the Lord, that wrong should not be taken very seriously. So a devotee who has firm faith in Krishna, a pure devotee, even if we find some faults in them, we should not take it very seriously. We should try to understand, must be some design of the Lord behind that. Because a pure devotee, his whole intention, his whole life is just to serve Krishna for the pleasure of Krishna. He's not thinking in terms of his own sense gratification. Shri Bhagwan Uvacha Etav Sure Tara Gatim Pratipadya Sadhyaha Samramba Samvrata Samadhi Anubaddha Yoga Bhuya Sakasham Upayasyata Ashu Yogaha Shapo Mai Va Nimitas Tad Aveta Vipraha. The Lord replied, O Brahmanas, know that the punishment you inflicted on them was originally ordained by me, and therefore they will fall to a birth in a demoniac family, but they will be firmly united with me in thought through mental concentration, intensified by anger, and they will return to my presence shortly. So now here, now we are, because a question was raised, oh, even in Vaikuntha, how can this thing happen? So we can hear now Krishna is giving the answer that it was his desire. It's ordained by me. The Lord stated that the punishment inflicted by the sages upon the doorkeepers, Jay and Vijay, was conceived by the Lord himself. Without the Lord's sanction, nothing can happen. We fail to understand this, that not even a blade of grass moves without the sanction of the Lord. And that's why we are in this material world, in this material condition. So without the Lord's sanction, nothing can happen. Everything is happening under the desire, under the control of Krishna. Everything. It is to be understood that there was a plan in the cursing of the Lord's devotees in Vaikuntha, and his plan is explained by many stalwart authorities. So the acharyas who are on that pure level with Krishna, they can understand what is Krishna's mood, what is his desire. So how do they explain what was this plan? Because Krishna is saying that they were cursed because of my plan. It was my desire. So now what is the desire? And so that's why we should always hear from the authorities, from the acharyas, from the devotees, because only they can understand. Krishna reveals himself only to the devotees. We should not try to hear from anyone and everyone who thinks has a right to speak about Krishna, because they don't know Krishna. So what will they speak, So the Lord sometimes desires to fight. The fighting spirit also exists in the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, how could fighting be manifested at all? Because the Lord is the source of everything. Anger and fighting are also inherent in his personality. When he desires to fight with someone, he has to find an enemy. But in the Vaikuntha world, there is no enemy because everyone is engaged fully in his service. Therefore, he sometimes comes to the material world as an incarnation in order to manifest his fighting spirit. So we say Krishna is a person. He likes to fight also. Otherwise, why would there be fighting? Everything has its origin in Krishna. Everything has its origin in Krishna. He is the creator of everything and everyone, all the qualities. He also gets angry. That's the reason we get angry. That's the reason we fight. But we do not know how to use this fighting spirit or this angry mood. We do not know how to use it. But Krishna knows. So he has a desire to fight. But in the spiritual world, in the Vaikuntha planets, there are no demons. Everyone loves Krishna a lot. Everyone loves each other. There is no envy. So how is he going to fight? Everything is so loving there. How is he going to fight? So he creates this pastimes. He comes down to the material world to have this pastime of killing, of having a demon, and he's calm and he's going to kill the demon. Like that. So in Bhagavad Gita 4.8, also it is said that the Lord appears just to give protection to the devotees and to annihilate the non-devotees. So 4.8, he says, what does he say? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chaduskritam. Dharma samstarpanathaya sambhavami yuge yuge. That he says, I come every millennium. I come. And when I come to reestablish the religious principles. I come to annihilate the miscreants, the demoniac. And I come to protect the devotees. The non-devotees are found in the material world, not in the spiritual world. Therefore, when the Lord wants to fight, he has to come to this world. There are no non-devotees in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, everyone is a devotee. And that's the reason Krishna says that you want to get out of this material world, you want to get liberation, you surrender to me, you become my devotee. because that is our true position. That is true liberation. We might think, oh, Krishna is just trying to boss around us. No, you surrender to me. No, but that is our original position. We just have to accept it, understand it. So, but who will fight with the Lord? Who will fight with the Supreme Lord? No one is able to fight with him. Who's going to fight with him? Everyone's a devotee. How will they fight with him? Therefore, because the Lord's pastimes in the material world are always performed with his associates, not with others, he has to find some devotee who will play the part of an enemy. So whenever Krishna comes to this world, all the pastimes that we hear, all these people who are with him, they are all his associates. Not ordinary people can be in Krishna's pastimes. These are very great personalities. Some of them are eternal associates of Krishna. Some of them are just become perfect on their way to Golok Vrindavan. So when a devotee becomes perfect, and before he goes to Golok Vrindavan in the spiritual world, he takes his one last birth where Krishna is performing his pastimes. And there he's there in Krishna's pastimes, taking part. So like that. So Krishna is the supreme director. He's the director. We are the actors. So then he directs, okay, I'm going to come, and you're going to be the fighter. Okay, Jai Vijay, you become these demons and you fight with me here. And then, oh, this one, you become like this, like that. Krishna brings like he told the demigods, you'll come, you'll take birth in the Yadu dynasty. So many powerful demigods, they came and they became his relatives in the Yadu dynasty, like that. So in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says to Arjuna, my dear Arjuna, both you and I have appeared many, many times in this material world, but you have forgotten, whereas I remember. So that's the difference. We forget, Krishna never forgets. He's the Supreme Lord, never forgets. Thus, Jai and Vijay were selected by the Lord to fight with him in the material world. And that was the reason the sages came to see him, and accidentally the doorkeepers were cursed. Now, this is the reason why the four Kumaras, they came to see the Lord. They were able to cross the 6 gates. At the 7th gate, they were stopped. All this was happening according to the Lord's desire. It was, so we can see, we are all instruments in the hand of Krishna. Only we have to accept it and recognize it. Here, Krishna has inspired the 4 Kumaras. Okay, you come. He created the desire in them. Come and see me. Then he let them enter the 6 gates. At the 7th gate, he inspired Jai Vijay. Stop them. He inspired the four Kumaras to curse Jai Vijay. And then it was the Lord's desire to send them to the material world, not perpetually, but for some time. It was not forever that he wanted Jai Vijay to be in the material world, just some time. Therefore, just as on a theatrical stage, someone takes the part of enemy to the proprietor of the stage, although the play is for a short time, and there is no permanent enmity between the servant and the proprietor. So the Surajanas, devotees, were cursed by the sages to go to the Asurajanas or atheistic families. That a devotee should come into an atheistic family is surprising, but it is simply a show. After finishing their mock fighting, both the devotee and the Lord are again associated in the spiritual planets. That is very explicitly explained here. The conclusion is that no one falls from the spiritual world or Vaikuntha planet, for it is the eternal abode. So it's like how we see the actors, the director will tell the two actor, okay, you'll fight now. One is the hero, one is the villain. So the hero and the villain are fighting. But it's only in the movie. Then the director will say, cut. And then the hero and the villain are again best of friends and eating and joking together. So it's only for that movie, right? So here it's for the Lord's pastimes. For the Lord's pastime. So no one is going to come back from the spiritual world, Vaikuntha planet. So we should, have that intense desire. I want to go back home, my dear Krishna. I want to come back home. I am not qualified for it. I'm not qualified. I do not have good qualities. I do not have anything, but just please bring me back home. Okay. But sometimes, as the Lord desires, devotees come into this material world as preachers or as atheists. In each case, we must understand that there is a plan of the Lord. Lord Buddha, for example, was an incarnation, yet he preached atheism. There is no God. But actually, there was a plan behind this, as explained in the Bhagavatam. So when Krishna desires, he chooses certain devotees for a particular purpose. He brings them as preachers, of course, to bring us back. He sent Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, all the acharyas to tell us about Krishna. And then he also comes either himself, he's Lord Buddha. Lord Buddha, he is an incarnation of Krishna, but he's saying there is zero, nirvishesha, zero. Why? Because at that moment, it was needed. It was an emergency situation. It was needed. People were misusing the Vedic culture. They're misusing the Vedas, and they were killing animals in the name of Vedas. To stop that, Lord Buddha said, okay, don't trust the Vedas. Just come to me. Everything is zero. So that was Lord Buddha's plan. So we need to understand what's the Lord's plan. Not easy, not easy. That's why we need to approach a devotee, because only a devotee can explain to us what is the Lord's plan. Is that okay?
So that means that both of them were very great devotees, and everybody in the Kurukshetra Yudh were also planned, right? They were also, that was because that was also a Leela. So they were also, and then that's why they got the Sarujyam Mukti.
Yeah.
That's why all the demons, because they are coming here, they are eternal associates of Krishna, and they're coming here for a reason, right?
Yes. Anyone who's in Krishna's Leela, they are not ordinary people. They are all great personalities. We say, oh, Dhritarashtra, oh, Duryodhan, but these are great personalities to be having pastimes with Krishna, They're playing that part for us to teach. Krishna is teaching us, don't do like this. When you do like this, you're going to get bad things. You do good things, then you're going to be happy, you're going to be blissful, you will achieve me, you will come back to me. You will attain the spiritual kingdom. So it's through the devotees he's teaching us.
So what does it mean? We should not look down, right, at them?
Yeah, we should not. We should not. We need to respect everyone.
Respect, right? Yeah.
Yes, we need to respect everyone.
How we say, no, oh, this demon, he was so bad. And
yeah, but of course, we don't want to become cunts now.
yes.
We don't want to have that quality.
No, but it's not like they're all devotees, actually.
Yeah, Jai Vijay, we have to understand, Kans is who actually? Jai Vijay, So, I'm sorry, is Kans Jai Vijay? No, that is Shishupal and Dandavat.
Vakradanta.
Yeah. So Kans, original form, I don't know, but he is a devotee to become Kans there,
Imagine, everything is a play.
Yeah. So we need to respect everyone. We need to understand that we have to we have to revive our attachment for Krishna, revive, because we are always like, why Krishna has to be the director of the play? Why should I do what he wants me to do? Let me be the director, and I will tell this one, you act like this, you act like this, you act like this. Sometimes I think this way. So I'm just I'm just saying. So there's a director, and Krishna is directing in the spiritual world. Everyone is saying, yes, that's a good play. I'm going to take part in it. And I'm very happy with my role, what I have. That's the best role I could play. I love to do this role. And then some of us say, why should I do it? Why should I listen to you? I will be the director myself, and I will tell people how they have to act, what they have to do. And then that's why we are here. We are also trying to be mini directors, trying to say, you do this, you do this, you do this, So, So when we understand that Krishna is really the best director, and if we act in his pastimes, then we will really enjoy what we are doing, really be happy, because that's our original position. That's who we truly are. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So here in this material world, all of us are saying, oh, this person is happier. Let me change my position. Let me become like this one or become like that one. Then I will be happy. Then I'll feel more fulfilled. Then I'll feel more accomplished. I'll feel, that hankering is there, that I'm not complete. But when we go back to the spiritual world, when we are situated in our original position, original activity, original spiritual form, we feel this is the best thing. This is the best thing for me. I'm the happiest in this. This is me. And I want to do what it could be anything. It could be in Dwarka, it could be in Mathura, it could be in Vrindavan. It could be in any of the Vaikuntha planets with Lord Narayan. But because that's who we truly are, then we feel this is the best. I'm home. I'm happy doing what I'm doing now. So let's continue hearing and chanting and go back home.
Yes.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for listening in today.